All right, welcome back to Buy Guys Crypto Show, where mania rules, caution drools, and we play the fools for your viewing pleasure. This show is 20% knowledge, 30% baloney, 50% hops and barley. We talk crypto all day, every day, at least every Monday when the show is launched. I'm Raff,
I'm Jeff.
I'm Stu.
and we are here to entertain and educate. First things first, this is week 4 of this enterprise. And I got to tell you, we are parabolic in terms of our viewership is off the charts, folks. Look at this. Episode 1, 71 views. Episode 2, 258. Episode 3, 436. What is the trajectory? What is the trend line? It's going way up. I'm shocked and I'm really happy. Let me just say thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. I think we have 12 subscribers as well. So for anyone out there that enjoys our content, thank you so much. Like it, comment, ask questions, email us at buyguyscrypto@gmail.com. We do appreciate your support. And I just wonder if you guys had to speculate, what's episode 4's viewership going to be? Are we going to go up to 800? What do you think, guys?
I'm going 750. That just feels right. 750.
I was going to go 750 as well, but knowing that we can do a little better, I'm going to say 825.
I'm going to go $1, like Price is Right. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, guys, all the viewers out there, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. And we're just going to keep rolling with this as long as it's fun for you. It's fun for us. 3 fraternity brothers getting together after 20 plus years of graduation, reconvening around this love of crypto. That is a good reminder just to say, look, disclaimer, this is not financial advice. If you go to YouTube for financial advice, you need help. You need to seek medical professional. If you go to YouTube with a guy wearing a Bucko's t-shirt and you take anything he says seriously, I just seriously question your status as a human being. So again, have fun. It's for entertainment purposes only. But let's jump right into the markets. How are the markets doing, Jeff? Pull it up. Jeff is command control tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff,
all right, guys,
is on top.
So tonight we're going to go to CoinGecko. So I don't know if Raff, you have any comments, but CoinGecko
seems legitimate. It seems super
tonight.
Legitimate.
What do you guys think? A little bit different than last week.
Look, Bitcoin over 40K. Everyone's got to love that. Ethereum over 2.5K. I mean, the markets are up and away. I'm feeling good. Stu, what say ye?
Well, I mean, this is just another example of large market moves following Mr. Musk, as well as the billionaire hedge funder Paul Tudor Jones. He had a quote, and I'm not a big fan of reading to folks, but I have it here, that the only thing I know for certain, I want 5% in gold, 5% in Bitcoin, 5% in cash, and 5% in commodities. You couple those two, Musk and Jones, and you have results like you're seeing today.
I'm going to say this is all looking pretty impressive. I'm a little surprised at Cardano. It's a little sideways. It's not really making as much of a move there. But the 7 days, and that's a preview, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, seriously, the market's it's recovering. It's coming back. I think it's consolidated, as they say in the business, and the best is yet to come. Let's maybe move on to some news you can use. Again, Noah setting us up to have a great conversation on this show.
Yeah, I think you guys teed it up pretty nicely. And, looking at the 24-hour, I mean, pretty much everything's up. And we go back to last week. I think you mentioned it, Raff. It was a bloodletting on Monday. We were, heads down, not feeling real good with where the market was going from Sunday to Monday. And now here we are a week later, a lot's changed. And Bitcoin's up 20% just in the last 24 hours. So great news. Stu had mentioned it. So you guys, in the spirit of giving you all value, we're giving you 2 stories today for news you can use. So
yeah,
excited to touch on 2 things. So the first one, real quick, Stu mentioned it in the Wall Street Journal. Here's just one place citing it. The Bitcoin raises above 40,000 on Elon Musk tweet. So what did he say? If we're just talking about Elon, I know Stu had mentioned some hedge fund folks speaking about 5% as a minimum or a reasonable amount of money to have in cryptocurrency. Elon Musk is really the one that drove much of this speculation starting yesterday. with his tweet, sort of reversing a little bit of his stance on Bitcoin and just providing a window of opportunity to use it again at Tesla. So
was it like
Musk
6 weeks ago? Wasn't it was
Yeah.
it 6 weeks ago when he said something like he's concerned about the energy consumption? It just like cratered, right? Wasn't that the story? Is that what happened?
Yeah. I mean, obviously Tesla being a company that's based on clean energy, they're with all of the talk around the energy utilization with Bitcoin, it didn't look good. And Musk basically said until it became more energy efficient to mine Bitcoin, it wasn't going to be something they would entertain using. So since then, if you've read some of the news in the space, there's been a lot of shifting around finding clean energy mining capabilities to mine Bitcoin. So that's kind of where our next article actually dovetails nicely. But Musk's comment was, if it hits 50% energy efficiency, I don't know how they're defining that, 50% energy efficiency, they would consider taking Bitcoin to pay for a Tesla again. So it provides a path forward, which is, I think, what the market was looking for. And I guess the bull market, at least for Bitcoin, potentially moves on.
Do we know where it is now? It's 50% is the goal. Do we have any sense?
Yeah, it's a great question. No, I have no idea where it's at right now. I'm not sure how they measure that. I'd love to, maybe that's another news you can use article on how they're actually evaluating that. But I thought the same thing. It's like, how do you know what's the scale, what's the benchmark there? So I think we're all looking to try to understand that a little bit more. But good news is market's up. Things are good for at least another week, maybe.
We can like Elon this week until we don't like him next week, right? I mean, that's sort of the story with our old pal.
And if you would talk to XRP holders, they would tell you that there are options out there. There are other cleaner options out there. So maybe he could dig a little deeper.
Preach on, brother.
Yep, I'm with you. So, I mean, it's also a testament to how, I guess, immature and speculation driven some of this market is. There's a lot of utility, but there's still some speculation involved.
If one person can move it with a tweet, that's, I don't know, my friends, that's just odd. Because what other market has that type, where like some personality or individual has that type of power? I can't think of too many that, even if some famous person tweeted out something about, softwood lumber, supply and demand pretty much controls that market. It doesn't matter what someone says about it, right? This is just totally different. So fascinating times. All right, what you got here is Texas state regulator green lights banks to custody crypto. All right, yeah. I like what I'm seeing.
So I thought of you here, Raff. Like, we have talked about, there's kind of two camps, at least, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you're certainly, further down the road in this in adoption, but there's like two camps. There's the camp that keeps everything on an exchange or on a hot wallet, and then there's the camp that has progressed to the point or evolved to the point or devolved to the point, however you want to look at it, to using a cold wallet. And the thing you held up that you showed us last week around keeping your crypto off of an exchange, and that seems pretty darn intimidating. I'm not certainly to that point yet, but maybe, just maybe, there's an option down the road that allows those that aren't as tech savvy and comfortable to do that, which I know is blasphemy to anybody in the crypto community to mention banks holding your keys, but maybe there's a market there. Maybe there are people that have a substantial amount of money. So why this article was interesting is Texas, like you mentioned, greenlit banks to custody crypto. So thought this was interesting for a couple of reasons. One, your concerns around managing things in a cold wallet and the trials and tribulations that come from that, losing it, breaking it, losing your keys. And then the other challenge is, keeping everything in a warm or hot wallet online or an exchange. So maybe there's an opportunity here for banks to manage these keys for people, keeps them safe, stores them, but obviously the keys are still, accessible by the owner. And it also shows a trend toward mass adoption, right? So you've got banks looking to do this in Texas. Texas is also getting a lot of press because they are a place where energy efficient Bitcoin miners are moving to, and crypto startups are moving to. So Texas is kind of a hotbed for cryptocurrency startups in the US now. And now you throw this into the mix and you kind of see where this is going. And maybe Texas ends up being a leader in this space. So interesting for a multitude of reasons. Just thought I'd bring it up. And I would love to get your thoughts, Raff, in particular, because you've battled the challenges of ownership here a
Yeah,
little differently
thanks.
than we have.
This is fascinating. It's very encouraging for someone like me. I'm in my mid 40s. Look, I know the youngins out there, the Bitcoin maximalists, they're all about, decentralization, be your own bank. It sounds very alluring in theory, but as someone who's owned some cryptos over the years that have escalated in value to a degree, I start to get uncomfortable because I did make the move. I started out on Coinbase. I moved over to a Ledger Nano. And then I just got a little bit paranoid. Like, how many copies of my key phrases do I have lying around the house? Do I have something in the safe deposit pocket? Like, it's too much stress. So bottom line is I kind of put all my assets back on Coinbase. People are like, what are you thinking? That's a stupid move. I'm like, no, there's a value to that. Coinbase is a public company right now. I'm pretty confident that if something really bad happened, they'd still probably find a way to make me whole. Maybe I'm foolish. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe that's just a naivete, but I don't know, man. There's something weird about carrying around a thumb drive and having some significant amount of money on there and just being like, oh, if I forget a certain number or letter, it disappears. It doesn't disappear. That's the worst part. It's sitting on the ledger. You could like look at the value, but you couldn't access it. That seems terrifying to me. And so, yeah, if we could find a third party who could be responsible for that, for someone like me, that's like, I'm the target demographic. Stu, what's your story?
No, I just think it's all part, as Jeff referenced, that mainstream adoption. And I think, so very early on, the idea of banks and crypto, that the idea that they could ever really be partnered, was just fascinating to me because they were running so very contrary to one another early on. But now you're starting to see it kind of to where banks are willing to be that trusted advisor for folks. So again, the fact that banks are willing to do it, it tells you kind of the direction that ultimately that this might be headed. And again, it's probably not going to happen overnight, but in the coming months and years, I think we'll start to see more of it and people becoming more comfortable with the idea of it.
It's fascinating. It's going to develop over time, but now it's time to jump into the end of our show. Everyone's favorite, running of the moon bulls. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been quite a remarkable week, some significant turn of events. Just to remind everyone, this all started out in week one. Each of us made a $50 investment in a particular cryptocurrency, and each and every week subsequently, we've invested $25 in another coin of preference. After 3 weeks, that is last week, I was in first place with -7 of growth. It's been a rough month. Let's face it. That's pretty good because Noah was down about 10%. Stu was down about 25% in the first couple of weeks. Bottom line is I've held pole position here since day one. But unfortunately for me, the worm has turned. Let's show the stats on this. It's pretty remarkable. It does speak to the volatility of this market. First place, Stu Wilhelm is up 35%. He's a big AMP fan, and he just that came through for you this week. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in a second. Noah still down 13% roughly, but man, Raff, I got decimated this past week. I don't know what happened, but pretty brutal. I thought that was a great pitch. Just didn't make it happen. So Stu, let's. I guess we're gonna have to suffer through this. Gloating, but go ahead, lay it on us.
No. I mean, there's no really need to gloat, Raff. I think when you're good, you tell people. When you're great, they tell you. And I think your text this week confirms my place. And you referenced pole position, right? And back in 2008, there was a young driver, right? You might know him, Dale Jr. He drove an '88 car. It was an AMP energy car, right? And it's right here for me. And I brought it out, a little subtlety. But I look at AMP and I tell you that I'm going to drive that AMP wagon to the checkered flag in this competition. I'm comfortable where I'm at. I like XRP. But the idea of being able to accumulate 383 more AMP tokens this week, bringing me over 2,000 tokens now, moving into next week, I like where I'm at. I feel like it's a true underdog story. The people, the viewers, I think they're cheering for me. I think they look and they say, you know what, this guy was at the bottom. Everybody was making fun of him with the AMP call. And now here I am. So come and get me.
Tripling down on the AMP. Is that the plan for this week?
It's absolutely the plan. It's absolutely the plan.
That's what they say. Buy high, sell low.
All right, Noah, you're up next. Let us know what you're up to. You're Mr. Diversity over here. So let's just, I'm curious. Are you going to go for a fifth coin?
Yeah, it was everything I could do not to buy a fifth coin, just because there's a couple that I have nothing exposed to. But I'm going to go with XRP. XRP is hasn't. I feel like it hasn't moved in a month. It's 88 cents. It was 87 cents at this time last week. I think it was 95 cents the week before, which means I think there's a lot of opportunity for it to move up. And to catch Stu with AMP just mooning this past week, I need something with, moon potential in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm going to go XRP again and start to dial this portfolio of 4 and really land on a few between those 4 that I think can carry me. I don't know if to the finish line, but to keep it interesting, I think at this point is my goal. And stay ahead of Raff. I don't know if that'll happen. Actually, I may be behind you already because I think OGN went up a substantial amount since maybe 4 or 5 o'clock today. So I'm probably in third place. It's all I can do to hang on. I've considered just going the rest of the weeks in stablecoin and playing not to lose and keep everything at $1 or $25 and not lose anything in the event that the market goes way down at the end of the contest. I've held on to the most value. That's not really the way to play.
That's not the spirit of the buy, guys, my friend.
It's not.
And I hope XRP works out for you, since I have a few shares as well in this competition. So
Hey,
I'd like to see that moon as well.
Real quick, Noah, you mentioned the finish line. Something I want to clarify with our audience as well as you guys. We should get on the record here. When does this contest end? We said
I thought it was this week.
I think we said
it may have ended this week.
We started off with 10. We said 10 weeks. Is that still the thing? And I don't know what that date is. We can project it. We can, write it down, and then next week we can update the audience with the specific date.
Last week of July, I think, is July 25th. Might be week 10. Yeah, that's Sunday night.
Just to confirm, the last Monday of July is the absolute end of this, or is it the week after that? It's definitely the last Monday of July.
Well, it's probably going to depend on how far behind you are, Rob, and your willingness to take another shot at trying to catch.
I'm a fan of outcome-based jurisprudence. I can interpret the law however it benefits me, Anyway, bottom line, I think it's the last Monday of July, and that's going to be the deadline. That's it. That's when the final results are in. So I'm sticking with that. You guys are on board. Blood handshake here, right? We're good.
Do we talk about what the winners get? Does the audience?
Yeah. The other thing is the winner. Actually, we have to sort that out too. This is all for a good cause, ladies and gentlemen. To some degree, the person who wins the first annual racing of the Moon Bulls gets to name the charity of choice, to which the losers have to donate. What do we say? $50, $100, half of their value of their portfolio. I don't know. We have to figure out those terms as well. Let's do that next week. Bottom line is, it is for a good cause, and at some point at the end of the day, even if we lose everything, we're going to lose more than everything, because someone's going to be making some donations to charity at the end of this thing. That's what it's all for, a good cause, just having fun. But let's wrap it up with Raff's purchase, because I don't like being down here looking at you guys from behind. It's not where I want to be. And I, was really seriously thinking about hopping on the AMP train, but that would only just basically let me keep up with Stu, right? That's not good enough. I need something that's going to really accelerate. I mean, XRP, I think Jeff's, that's a great play. That stuff's been going sideways for weeks, and it's due for a big leg up. But what I'm going back to is my secret sauce, man. Tell coin, baby. Yeah, I think it's still undervalued. I think it's sitting around 3 cents right now, and I could see that pulling an amp, going parabolic maybe 2 or 3 times in the next couple of weeks. So I'm in for Tell, and I'm looking forward to reclaiming my status in the next week or 2.
Good luck.
So that's it, everybody. We had a great time. This has been a great show, and hey, lottery, you got to play to win. In crypto, you got to buy to fly to the moon, baby. See you next time on the Buy Guys. Later.